Hello everyone, I welcome you all again to another episode of Folklore and Culture. This whole month of July, we are going to talk about representation of indigenous truth versus reality. So, we are going to talk about what are the narratives, what are the representations which comes with the tribal community or the Adivasi community. So what comes to our mind when actually we hear about tribal? The word tribal in many ways gives us a representation of a half-naked man, a woman who is carrying maybe bows and arrows going for hunting, isn't it? But how true is that? How true is that to Adivasi lives? Do they feel that these representation actually are truthful representation of their culture, their life? Where does this idea of this kind of stereotypical representation of these tribals come from? Generally, when we read about the tribal narratives, most of the voices are not tribals. So whenever we judge the other one from our own perspectives, it might not be the complete truth. So whatever we read, whatever narratives we read in the mainstream is mostly the narratives of the mainstream and not of the tribals. Representation of tribal lives in media and in social media also gives us the similar picture. Why? Because the voice of the Adivasi, the voice of the indigenous people are not being represented in the media and social media generally. So while they are still in the fringes of the society, we need to ask a question that how does it matter to us? It matters to us on the grounds of human rights, on the grounds of rehumanizing the ones who are always pushed to the margins. It's about hearing the voices of the unheard. So, what is the truth? The truth is fragmented. The receding amount of tribal languages, the systematic erasure of tribal culture when it comes to celebration of folk festivals or capitalization, globalization mixed up with the tribal culture has systematically erased their tribal memories. Capitalism, power play, underrepresentation or misrepresentation have kept them still on the fringes of the society and they are still marginalized. The exclusion, the othering, when we talk about tribal lives, why it comes to our mind that they are someone excluding our own culture, why they are always the other and silencing the voices. Why do we speak for them? Why not let them take the seat, let them speak for themselves, giving them voices, giving them stages, giving them platforms to speak on their lives, about their own narratives, their own songs, their own writings. Why don't they get privileges which we get while we are creating our own narratives? The answer is that history has always been written by the powerful. The narratives have always been created by the powerful. And by compromising these voices, by not letting them speak, the narratives of the powerful always are on the mainstream. Those that do not believe in these narratives and have their own specific point of view, specific perspectives from the indigenous point of view, from the indigenous communities, they are being othered, So how can we recover from this? First, by supporting the tribal languages. So in 2011, Directorate of Advertising and Visual Publicity, Government of India, says that there were 2 newspapers in tribal languages were published in the central indigenous belt. Those were Johar Sahya, which is discontinued now, and a monthly newspaper in Nagpuri language, and Disom Khobor, a fortnightly newspaper in Santali language. It had circulations of above 5,000 to 6,000 copies, and both of them were speaking about contemporary tribal issues, their social issues, creating awareness about tribal identity, bringing solidarity about economic, social, and political justice. Another way how we can help is trying not to civilize or capitalize these tribal societies, rather than giving them spaces, giving them opportunities by supporting their way of life and accepting them as they are, as a part of ecosystem. Another way is representing these tribal voices in the social media, through the media, and not by mediating someone. So they need to speak about themselves, about their issues, about their lives, about their stories. We need to practice inclusivity so that we can accept their stories, we can accept their perspectives, their point of view, their problems, and solve their issues as well, rather than cancelling their discourse, cancelling the counter belief systems they possess, cancelling the stories, the narratives which they have passed on from generations. So we need to understand first that sustainability of tribal lives is not based on the mainstream economy. And if we want to relate our economy, our culture with the indigenous culture, it is going to be problematic. So what do you suggest to solve this issue? Do let me know. Thank you so much for listening to this video till the end. I would really love to hear your perspectives about these videos which I share, and like, share and subscribe if you like my content. If you like my initiative, do write to me. The details are there in the description box. Thank you so much.